And an NYPD briefing obtained by ABC News shows U.S. intelligence and police are on alert after 2 terror attacks in Europe. ISIS now claims responsibility for a knife attack at a music festival in Germany that left 3 people dead and 8 injured. And prosecutors in France say a man set 2 cars on fire near a synagogue before a firefight with police. The briefing says there's no sign the attacks are linked, but both incidents underscore an elevated terror risk. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky joins me now for more on that. So, Aaron, what are police and intelligence agencies taking away from these attacks? What's the biggest concern?
Well, they are not related, but the concern is that they are going to provide inspiration for people, whether it's the knife attack in Germany, the arson against the synagogue. It gives us a sense of the climate that intelligence officials have been worrying about for some time. And the bulletin that we obtained says this could show the persistent challenge of low-tech tactics. It's a knife and setting fire to something. This is not a large-scale attack by any means, carried out by an individual or a small group of individuals. And the bulletin says that public gatherings, houses of worship, vulnerable targets, they're concerned that these aren't going to be the only attacks of their kind.
So if the fear is just seeing or hearing about these attacks could inspire other people to try to do the same, how do you prevent that? What are intelligence agencies doing to try to?
In some ways, it's almost impossible to prevent, but we have seen at different points, especially in the last year or so during the Israel-Hamas war, extra patrols at houses of worship. Here in New York, the U.S. Open is underway, and the NYPD is paying particular attention to the big crowds of people, about 1 million people that will be spectators for the annual tennis event. And at different points, you might see a surge, you might see something draw back, you might not see anything, but police say they still are paying attention.
And those are the officers on the ground. What about behind the scenes? What are intelligence agencies trying to do with this information?
Well, they're trying to prevent things before they happen by anticipating. They always monitor chatter online to see if they can detect anything, but when it's a lone actor or a very small group, that can sometimes be really tough. So they're relying on the public if they see something untoward, as always. But there's not a lot you can do if someone's going to set fire to a car outside a synagogue without any warning at all.
All right, the old if you see something, say something. Aaron Katersky, thank you.
Sure.